All right, so I figured I'm gonna make a part 2 to the video, like I spoke about, you know, belief system and whatnot. And the reason is this: is like, you ever hear that in order for you to love others, you need to love yourself first, right? Because everything it's sourced first. Like, it's you. You are everything, okay, and nothing. Right? You're everything because you're nothing. Because if you're something, then you're limited to just something, one thing. And it's not to say anything, because it's just like, you're anything. You know what I'm saying? It could be anything, something favorable or unfavorable. But when you're something and you define that something and you decide what that something is, then, I mean, it's because you're nothing, and you could basically have the potential to be something that you choose. Okay? Now here's the thing. Unconditional love. If you're going to love others, you need to love yourself first. But I've also heard certain people say, in order for you to not even, I didn't hear anybody say that particular, but when you hear certain people say, I trust nobody, you know what I'm saying? I don't trust anything. I trust nothing. I trust, you know, nobody. And, you know, when you have that mentality, it's basically you don't have any trust in yourself, which is why I'm tying in what I said in my past video, where I believe everything, I just don't believe in anything. You know what I'm saying? Because in order for you to believe everything, you have to believe in yourself first. Because who is the one observing everything that you are observing? You. So you have to believe in yourself first. In order for you to trust anything outside of you, you need to trust in yourself first, and trust in the information that is presented to you and how it is presented to you, because it is presented to you a certain way for a reason, and it is up to you to define what it means to you. It doesn't have to necessarily mean anything to anybody else. Nobody really thinks the same way you do. Now, when I speak about energies, for example, and whatnot, like, you know, how, you know, Jesus Christ and, you know what I'm saying, Lucifer and all these energies, let's say, like when I spoke about the example, or, you know, how Batman and everything, and how he's perceived and how he is perceived to the public to be. But in actuality, it is basically a character that everybody knows has the way to basically defeat everybody. He has all the technique, which is all the technology and whatnot, to actually do what he needs to do to win, regardless of how powerful his adversary is. And this is basically the symbol of America, which is basically what Batman is. Batman is the American bald eagle. Batman is the one flying high and seeing everything from a bird's eye view. And Big Brother, you say Big Brother, it's Bat Brain, BB, you know what I'm saying? But in actuality, you can use that energy. And the reason why, and I'm making myself clear now, because I rewatched my video today and I'm like, yo, sometimes I feel like maybe I can say it a different way. And not that I really I'm worried about how anybody hears the information, but sometimes I feel like it might not be clear. So the reason I'm gonna go through this right now is to have a better understanding as to what I mean when I say redefine the meaning of each character. So for example, if Batman is known how everybody perceives him to be and how he is presented to the public, there's energy in that. Like the way people believe that character to be, see, people believe in that character and they will put their energy into how they believe that character, and the person or people who are using that character in a ritualistic way can redefine the meaning, but still use it in a way where people perceive it to be, just not exactly literally how people would perceive it to be. You know what I'm saying? So here's my example. You can use Batman and the technology, the way you see him use the technology physically, which is how the government and these people outside of you use their technology. Because see, they can only build on through technology, physical technology, on what you can metaphysically create. See, you don't need to physically use the technology like that. You can use it metaphysically. You know what I'm saying? And this is why I said, like, the example as to how Batman uses that, or Bruce Wayne, how he's a millionaire and whatnot. You know, he has all the assets and all the technology. Again, it's just basically a symbol. All it is a symbol. And people say it's a fictional character, but he's just as valid of an idea as Jesus Christ is. Jesus Christ exists as an idea, okay? Because if you're outside of space and time, anything that was created here was created by you as an idea that you can use to your advantage, and you can tweak it around to have it work for you in the way you want it to work for you. You get what I'm saying? So that's the reason why. But in order for you to do that, see, the way they disempower you with this religious mindset is that you're looking for these energies outside of you, and outside of you is the illusion. The real is in you. This is why I say, like, I believe everything. I believe the energies. I believe the ideas because I created them. But I believe in me because these energies are in me. So I don't say I believe in those energies outside of me. I believe in the energies in me. So those energies that I see outside of me are projected outside of me, and they are projected by the source, which is me. And I am outside of space and time. I'm playing this video game, and all these ideas and thought forms that are all thrown out there, I can use to my advantage, okay? And I can use them in a way where I'm using them. Yeah, they're for me, but it's on me. On is there a right way or a wrong way to use them? You get what I'm saying? But see, that's all like tying into what I spoke about when you do certain things for self-serving reasons or for disempowering others. But then you have to also realize, if you know that that God's mind is the collective and all these people outside of you are you, how would you have the mentality to want to harm or do anything to anybody outside of you when they are actually you? It's basically you, okay? But short gains would be you doing it for self-serving reasons. Long-term gains is you having these people work for you and utilizing them in a way where it's not infringing or imposing on anybody's shit. Because don't forget, that's the type of shit that basically, when I say what goes around comes around, because it's basically you fucking yourself. You're doing it to yourself. Okay? So the way they trap you in this religious mindset is, I'm praying to a Jesus, but he's outside of me in the sky, and when I die, I'm gonna basically go up to that big country club in the sky and rejoin with all these saints, and you can get there. You know what I'm saying? But this is the whole thing. This is where you're disempowered, because you're looking up to those energies, and those energies are not to be looked up to. They are you. You know what I'm saying? And when you start self-actualizing and self-realizing this, you can see that's going to trickle down to you seeing the connection between everything here. And the way you see everything here is basically mirroring back to you on how you perceive yourself to be first. This is why I say that people will perceive you the way you perceive yourself first. Everything comes down to self. Doesn't matter what it is. Everything is always going to come down to self. It's not going to come down. Let me just shut this off. Come down to self. See, there's certain experiences that I've had, like when I first started meditating, okay? When I first started coming into this, wokeness or spirituality or, consciousness and whatnot, whatever you want to call it. It's basically how I came into it was like a child. I was curious, and I went into it with a certain level of curiosity where I was having major breakthroughs. But then I noticed that as I started maturing into it, I started to wanting to do more research now. Started to look at 1,000 videos and trying to see how different techniques, or if anybody's gone through certain things. And then I'm noticing that as I'm going through my experiences now, I'm going in with a level of expectation now. You know what I'm saying? And I'm getting disappointed because I'm not having the same expectation. And the reason why is because you got to understand, like, your body is your technology. Everybody has techniques. Those are their techniques. They learned how to master their techniques through their technology, because the technique is the technology. So once you start mastering your technology, you know how to master your techniques, and your techniques aren't going to be the same as anybody else's. That's why when you do rituals, you're not supposed to do them exactly how you are taught to do them. You know what I'm saying? Because now you're just following. You can use everything as a blueprint or a guide, but then you do shit your own way, what feels right to you. You connect with yourself, which is basically you connecting spiritually to know what works for you. See, I do rituals, and I do them in my garden. I do certain things in my garden. That's not how everybody does it, but it's just basically a blueprint from what I've picked up, and then what I've had a passion to loving to do, and I connected it all together so I can do it all in one thing. So since I love gardening, I combined all these things into one. You know what I'm saying? Using certain energies such as swamp thing, you know what I'm saying, poison ivy and whatnot. And everything thrives accordingly. But because I believe it to be so, because it is what I believe in me to be doing something, that I'm doing something which is basically coming from within me. You know what I'm saying? So I got into something. So, and then when I get into something, I do something and it becomes something. You know what I'm saying? But as all that something means something to you, to what you want it to mean. Whatever that something is. Not anything, but something. You know what I mean? Coming from nothing. Okay? Which is basically everything starting with a thought first. Okay? You know, when you like, let's say for example, everybody's body is different. Or you have some people who are, let's say, melanated. Some people are lighter skinned. Who's to say one is more technologically advanced than the other? You know what I'm saying? In this physical realm, but it'd be equivalent to you trying to compare a monster truck to a sports car. You know what I'm saying? There's things that the sports car could do that the monster truck can't. Things that the monster truck can that the sports car can't do. You know what I'm saying? So it's basically like the sports car trying to do what a monster truck could do. You know what I'm saying? Physically, there's going to be limitations. But if you close your eyes, I can actually put some big-ass monster truck tires on my sports car, a fucking crazy-ass suspension, some rocket boosters on the side, and now I can do what the monster truck can do, but maybe better, because now I have the power and the horsepower to do it. Same thing, the monster truck can now run a quarter mile better than the sports car can. You know what I'm saying? So that's basically all I have for this. Trust and believe in yourself. That's what it's really all about. We'll talk soon.